We are open to working with all different content providers and all different publishers and distributors as well. We have to do a little bit of walking before we run, and what I mean by that is we are still in our beta, so we are choosing our partners a bit more selectively, a bit more, not even carefully. We can only bring on so many partners each week, so we're eager to work with everybody. We've gotten about 300 inbound calls in the last week since our launch, so we appreciate hearing from everybody. It will be a relatively simple process. What we provide to our partners is two things: a great content management system for free and a great video player for free. So once you join NBBC, and we invite everybody to, and we'll be open early next year in terms of opening it up to the entire online community, you can upload your video into the system. You can find publishers within the system on whom you want to distribute your content. You can select them. The distributors then come into the system using either our video player or integrating our content management system into their video player, and we will run that great content on those distribution partners' websites. So it's a relatively simple model. They can find us at nbbc.com, and again, we are looking forward to working with everybody in the community. So we think about the ad piece in two different ways. If we are bringing the ad and the advertiser into the NBBC marketplace, we think about NBBC as a traditional ad network. So if you were to look at our rev share, it would be similar to what you might get through an AdSense or through a Value Click or a 24/7 or some of the other larger networks in terms of how we split the revenue. Now, we actually split it two ways, or three ways, excuse me, rather than two ways, because we give a piece of the revenue to the content provider, a piece of the revenue to the distributor, and we keep the remainder for ourselves, and it's split very fairly. We also have a separate model in which if one of our partners actually brings in the advertiser, so if a content provider has an existing advertiser relationship, we can work with that. And if a distributor has existing advertiser relationships, we can work with that as well. In those cases, the revenue share is less for NBBC, and the upside is kept by that partner who brought in the advertiser. In any case, all three parties actually benefit in any of our models. I think that the evolution on the online advertising piece, or the advertising piece of digital video, will in many ways be a little bit similar to what we saw with the advent of the commercial internet in 96, 97, 98, etc. What I mean by that is right now there's really a higher demand for by advertisers and agencies for quality content and quality inventory to run their brands against. And it's a little bit less targeted, it's a little bit less contextual, it's a little bit less based on things like behavioral targeting that we're starting to see so much of in the banner space and in the tech space. So I think today it's really about just connecting high quality video ads with high quality video content. But I think as we move forward, we're going to see two things happen. One, we're going to see the same sort of targeting, whether it's behavioral, contextual, etc., to optimize that media buy. But two, we're going to see potentially more impactful methodologies in which to get that brand in front of the audience. And what I mean by that is a pre-roll is a great place to start, but there's so much more we can do to actually integrate the ad with the content, to make it much more supportive of the content, to make it more supportive of the inventory in which the content is running, and those are places that we're going to explore over time as well. In fact, we have a team dedicated at NBBC solely around developing these new mediums to provide that advertising in a way that appeals to both the consumer as well as the content provider and the distributor. So when I think about pre-rolls and think about how to match proper pre-rolls against quality or proper content, proper inventory and length, it's dependent upon a couple different things. One is, are we talking about long form video or shorter form video? If I'm going to run a 2-minute piece of content or a 1-minute piece of content, it's really difficult to put a 30-second ad in front of a 1-minute piece of content. However, if I'm going to run a 30-minute show or a 60-minute show or in fact a 2-hour feature movie, it's a lot easier to run 30-second ads. Right now what we're seeing with shorter form clip type content is 5 to 15 seconds as really optimal. And this is actually very exciting for most agencies as well, because now they can go back to the drawing board and work with their advertiser partners to create brand new creative, brand new video ads that may be a bit different from what they're doing in the TV space, which is much more traditionally around 30 seconds.